Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstay it, your thoughts are never everything you want till when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side. You on the Christ when I press on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak. I'm sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get this off my chest though.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Down. 10 logo. 27. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Get it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for play number one from scrimmage, but I can guarantee it wasn't that interception.
No doubt about that one, because in their daydream, this was going to be a dream play to get things started. Instead, it turned into a nightmare for them.
After the interception, here's Wilson. They'll find Everett there, complete. 12 yards to pick up there, good for a Raven first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here's carry number one for Jordan Howard. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
It'll continue to be interesting in these wet conditions how these kickers fare, but first test, passed.
And how about how the special teams unit handled that? A lot of concentration to make sure the ball didn't slip through his fingers. After the snap, got it down and let him pop it through the posts.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down. Well, maybe that'll help him settle back into a groove after the interception on the first drive here, picking up the first to start drive number 2.
And it is just starting over, isn't it? Sometimes it's just how you have to do it. You have to erase things from your mind. Don't worry about what happened before, because over the course of a game, the good players, things turn out pretty well for them, and that's what he's trying to do here.
The numbers for him from a week ago, 12 carries, 53 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Steelers have taken the lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
Well, you know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs? One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Throws right side, and that's complete. It's a big play there for the Steelers. 48 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Tim Williams leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. 2nd and 6. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Now a play fake here on first down.
They can't stop us. They cannot hold us.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Wilson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded at the 33. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Saquon Barkley. Room here to run. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 45 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Saquon Barkley, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
A try here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run from Saquon Barkley. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And maybe the Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it 2nd down and 12. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it 2nd down and 12. This is Howard on 2nd down. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They can't stop us every time.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Taken in at the 11. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play calling.
Now back to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. On the delay, it's Howard. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than the ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1.
Every single time.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And an alley to run. 20. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. And he is finally brought down at the Ravens 7-yard line. So he nearly took it the distance, gets him down inside the 10 for a 1st and goal.
I'd love to be in his head right now because is he rewarding himself for a great run or is he kicking himself because he didn't get all the way to the goal line?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of 1 yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 22 on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road, under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. They've sort of epitomized balance. I mean, he's thrown the ball pretty well. They've run the ball well. Got to be pretty happy over on that sideline.
Takes a lot of pressure off, doesn't it? As much as those guys back there want to throw the ball around and be the focal point, when you're able to run it well and hold the defense back from their pass rush, it allows you to throw it as well as we're seeing so far in this game.
Yeah, now they'll be looking to add to their lead here in the 2nd quarter. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's going to be caught. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Well, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 23 here on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And can you believe it? He misses another one, his third so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Taking it about the 16. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They'll look to throw here. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
12 yards on the return that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Out comes Calvin Ridley and the offense for their next drive. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the 2nd quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
I don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
So you got to think he's going to want the ball more. 1 target, no catches. And connecting here with DJ Shark. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Go, tackle, let's go. We got this, we got this.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this is
do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They go with Howard again. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What do I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Fielded at the 20. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake, 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 31-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%. And it's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
2nd and 9 now. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 17-yard line. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
On 2nd down now, it's Boyd, and they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Strip that ball. Get it.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover them.
And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Saquon Barkley with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now here come the Ravens. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He has a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's...
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the...
And that's caught inside the 35. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They run with Howard. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Back now in Pittsburgh, and this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And it's taken in at the 9. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. It's a gain of 6, moves them to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. And we're working across midfield inside the 45. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Derwin James, the all-pro safety, is a rookie there to knock it away.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
I like this effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he's got the 1st as they bring him down at the 28-yard line. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th.
Check 99. Check 99.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. the defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Looking to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Brian Burns in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Let's go, defense.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll set up a throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, McClellan. Well, they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Mike, let's go deep, tighten up.
They'll set up to throw. And, oh, it'll be intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. That one complete. He finds Sharp. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Running with Howard. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Here's Wilson, and he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Single.
Now Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out.